question to you, Magnus. The game was a very exciting game, very up and down. I think a lot of fans enjoyed it. At one point, it seemed that you spent a long time before sacrificing an exchange. Did you feel that? What made you feel that you had to do this at this point?
Yeah, so I kind of missed his last move there, knight c5. Actually thought I was doing well. I was mainly focusing on other tries, for instance, knight b4, and then I get to install my knight in d6, and I'm doing well. And somehow the move knight c5 had just completely escaped my attention. So that was pretty unpleasant surprise. After that, I thought, in case I trade, his knight's gonna jump back to d3, and I thought my position was just very unpleasant. So it was simply out of necessity. But I did take some solace in the fact that you usually need to work pretty hard to win such positions as black, and I thought I had at least reasonable counter chances, but yeah, it wasn't intentional.
Jan, when you got this opportunity, you saw you'd be getting an exchange. Were you feeling optimistic about your chances?
Well, clearly it was obvious that knight a to c5 was missed by Magnus, so I thought like, wow, it's suddenly getting very nice for black, and probably rook b1 was a little bit too much, so bishop e3 was called for to keep the things under control. And then actually after rook b8, bishop a8, I thought black is nearly winning, because, well, actually it's like a couple more moves for me just to start converting material, like ba4 and c5. I should give huge credit to Magnus, because he just played in a very interesting way. So this bishop e4 was a very nice resource, and actually it started to look really double-edged. So perhaps c3 was a little bit, I don't know, human reaction, yeah, like to make sure I'm not going to be mated. And I guess after c3 it was more or less equal, yeah, since I have to play g6. But I think I also had some idea, I believe instead of ba4, queen g7, and f4, g5, but okay, it's, that's what I have been told, on my way to the press conference. So in general, I think it was very puzzling game, and I would say that during the game I thought like, okay, we both are playing not so well, but now it's like I start thinking that, okay, it was like just very interesting and very chaotic.
Magnus, he seemed to be playing incredibly quickly. He was basically coming to the board and making moves and getting up. Did that unnerve you at all at any point?
Well, I just reckoned he was thinking in the restroom instead. So yeah, it was obviously unusual, but I don't think anything particular about it.
So, Jan, so far in both games, Magnus has sacrificed the pawn for the initiative. You feel this is a strategy that he plans to employ throughout the match?
Well, I guess the initiative in the first game was quite questionable. It was just another sort of pawn sacrifice, but in the second game it was Catalan, so it says it all. So Catalan is always very sharp if you go for these positions. So you just give away the pawn, but you get this superior pawn center, and I actually don't know what to add.
Magnus, you felt you were in trouble at some point. Did you feel you had winning chances at any point?
Yeah, I didn't feel that I had any great chances per se. I did feel that my position was improving quite a bit, but when I went for this queen g4, my time was ticking down a bit, and I couldn't really see a way to comfortably improve my position, and that's why I decided to basically force a draw there, which was probably the best position I had in the game. I didn't really see the way, and obviously after what had transpired earlier in the game, having a completely safe position was nice. But yeah, obviously if this had been a must-win game, then I might have treated it a bit differently.
Jan, you had the black pieces. There was pressure in the beginning. You resolved it. You had some chances. Do you feel comfortable with the way the game went in the end?
No, the game was really crazy. So I had no idea what's going on. So it was obvious that in the beginning white is pressing, and the structure f6, e6, c6 with queen on d7 looks, maybe, it works for black, but it looks really ugly. So I still have very mixed feelings about the game. I think we both had some winning chances, but it's just quite nice that at some point I managed to take the initiative. But I believe in the end. So this knight surely compensates a rook, but for an exchange, white also has a pawn. So I think this rook takes d6 was more or less called for, and then I thought all right, maybe queen takes f2, and then lose in a brilliant way. But instead I decided to go for draw on rook endgame.
Magnus, you've played 2 games so far against Jan. What kind of opponent is he proving to be in such a short span, if you can estimate?
Yeah, it's very hard to say so far, because the games, they haven't been, well, they've been, in lack of a better word, they've been a bit atypical for both of us. So I think we'll see.
Jan, 2 games in, World Championship nerves gone, or just down to playing now?
No, even before these 2 games, it was I think the nerves gone once the first move has been played. So I guess I just enjoy playing chess.
All right, journalists, the floor is to you. If you may go to the microphones on the sides, ask your questions. There are 2 microphones. Feel free to choose either one, and please. Direct your question at a specific player, please. Even if for both, you can say which one you want to answer first.
Okay, well, it's for both, but let's have Magnus answer first, please. I'm Rune from the Chess24 Global broadcast, and I was wondering about, there's all this secrecy, we were not allowed to know who your seconds are, and it's very, very secret what your thoughts on chess are. And then after the game, it seems that you just hang out and talk about chess for 7 minutes and tell each other what you think about the game. So how does that work?
It's interesting to talk chess with somebody who understands the game very well, and I think it's a way of unwinding for both of us. And especially after a game like today with so much content, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was really puzzled with the game, but now I'm even more puzzled with your question, to be honest.